Okay, hello. So we are live, and today is a special day as we have, how's the old saying? The king is dead, long live the king. So, Gukesh, of course, um, well-deserved new world champion, I think. And in the beginning, I have to say I didn't know much about Gukesh, but in the meantime of the tournament, of course, through all the comments and everything and the commentary, I learned way more. I'm still sad that Ding didn't win, but I think the way everything went, it is all super good. And it was so disappointing when Ding blundered today, but yeah, it is just what it is. And he took it like a real a gentleman and sportsmanship at its best. So, Ding, also congrats to you for getting out of your deep hole this year and playing your best tournament, and so giving us such a great fight. Okay. With that, we will go right into the course. For the newcomers, this is about the World Chess Championship 2024 Ding versus Gukesh, of course. And I don't know how you followed the tournament or World Championships in general. I have to admit, I never really watched a World Championship from start to finish, every game and so on, as I just rarely um, found my interest into real chess without just blitzing your life away. So, yeah, this is a very nice way to follow it because you are being tested. If you watch a stream with commentary, I don't know about you, but for me, it is just they explain their ideas, they show it, and I can follow up. I understand what they're saying, but I don't really think by myself and going into this deep state of analyzing what's happening here, what's happening there, because all is delivered on a silver plate. And that's basically the reason why I think it is, at least for me, so important to get the games presented in a different way. And that's what International Master Andras Toth is doing. He is presenting us positions like tactics and strategic problems to solve. We have to train our skills from games at the very highest level, and that's why they are so difficult for me. Yeah, like sometimes I just sit here and I have no clue at all. I try to find my way through them, but I just don't get it. And then even in the reviews, like 2, 3, 4 reviews later, I still haven't, yeah, gotten it. Like, what's really the needed solution? So with that, we will just go straight into the course. We first have to do the review sessions as always, and this is some tedious thing because so let me take a look. We have 34 review positions, yeah, but that's just how chessable works, and it's a very nice way to present this whole thing. Yeah, so what do I mean by that? In game 1 we got 5 variations with 3, 4, 5 moves each to do. And if you got a move wrong, of course, Chessable will give it to you in a review, so you have the chance to relearn it. And if you get many moves wrong, then you, of course, will be presented them very often. And if you get them right, yeah, it will just be put into the stack of review cards, I'd say, but all the way at the bottom. That way you learn what you don't know, and what you already know will be just all the way down and not being presented so much. And that's how they give you the real learning experience, at least to me, that you don't waste your time with stuff that you already know. So we start with the review session, and I wonder how long this will take, but I, as always, give my very best, and we'll see how that goes. Okay. So here, Gukesh would have allowed the Indian challenger to play for the initiative, but how? Okay, here we go. It was by knight to e5. Correct. Taking. Also correct. And here I was always playing e6 to just get out of the double attack, but this seemed not to be right because we have a knight here that is pretty much doing nothing. We need to get it into the center of the board. That's why it's f3, and only now we are able to play e6. Overstudied, and now we have one more move to do, which I usually don't get. Like what? And it is so easy because it is taking with the rook on e6, and we won the pawn. Correct. So only 33 more variations to go. Let's go. So as always, you can take a look with me, and we're doing this together. So if you have something where you say, well, Jan, please do slower or faster or whatever, just write it into chat and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so an interesting alternative denying black from creating a pawn chain with b7, b5. b7, b5. Now black has a dynamic sequence that secures a small but firm edge. What would you play? Okay, here white has the two center pawns, and of course I would like to get rid of them. And how can this be done? I think we do it like this. It is e5 first, making way for the queen exchange. And with the queen exchange, the rook moves over to the d file, and we can take the e4 pawn. And now it looks somehow better in the center, and we are good. Yes, correct. Okay, so we are going to the next situation. It was a review session, of course, from the earlier games, and it's out of game 8, Ding with the white pieces. This is seemingly a logical move, but it has a lovely refutation, netting black a pawn. Can you spot it? Okay, and if you take a look with me here, guys, then I think this was attacking the rook, correct? And now it is taking the pawn. I wait a little to do calculations here. Yes, I think that's correct. Now I can take the rook, and when he takes, I can do a nice fork to the king and the bishop. So that was also all right. And we click on the next one, and it is out of game number 9. We are still doing the review session before we go into game 13. This is game 9, Gukesh with the white pieces, and this was a very interesting alternative. Can you find the best move for white in this line? This was, as International Master Andras Toth said, a bananas combination, and it went like this, I think. Take. He takes this one, and then I can take here. He's now threatening the rook, but I don't care. I take the bishop. Now I have the chance to attack the queen with the additional move here. So I just take the rook now. Do I take the rook now, or do I put him into check first? I think I put him into check first. So it's check, correct? And only now take the rook. Ah. We have to look this up. The final necessary punch. Yes, attacking the queen, it has to go away, but still I couldn't take. So let's go here. Okay, 10 points, and it went out of the way. No way to defend the rook. So my question here is, why didn't he play queen c2? Because that would defend the rook if he says, well, I'm going to take the rook on a8. What am I overlooking here? Well, basically, if I go here, we have to look this up. I don't really know now. So my refutation here would have been queen to c2 instead of queen a2 and attacking the rook if he takes, if I take his rook. So we just see what comes up now. Now he takes, and that was the variation. So I'm just going back this one move and checking it with the engine because I don't know what happened here. Let's see. So why is queen here so bad? Because queen e6 now. Okay, I get that one. Now rook f8. And now knight f7 check. Yes, all right. Only way to go with the king is here. And now we have a free move. Knight d6. Check. King h8. And what is coming? dc5. Okay, but we kept the rook alive. So let's see the other move. This was 0.15, and here let's wait until the calculation is finished. Okay, so that's still equal, and the move I suggested here is already better for white because now it's possible to take. Okay, I understand now. Good, then we go back to the reviews here. We got that one and go to game number 10, review session. And this ambitious move does not work here. Can you see why? Ding with white. Okay, let's see. So what's happening here? We have 3 defenders, and can I chase one defender away? It is this move here, and now taking here. And now we have only 2 defenders, and I'm free to take something. But of course, we have the queen here and need to take care of that. So I think it is good to take with the pawn here. Correct. And now Is it the bishop move to e5, or is it the knight to e5? I would probably go with the bishop, because if I go with the knight, he can just take the pawn. So let's go with the bishop. Incorrect, and it was another move that I didn't think of. With a sensational position where white has a massive center and the bishop pair to boot. Yeah, I would have given up my bishop pair advantage, of course. Still having the center pawns. So probably I need to find that out. But my question here, of course, is what happens if he plays rook d8 now? So any idea, guys? What happens if we go knight d8? So that's why I'm going to play this and then find out. So we're going again into the analysis part, letting the computer do a little computation here, and it is 1.7518. It's still doing calculations. Yeah, I also said rook d8, but it's still, well, white is so good. Okay. So, but I'd still like to find out. So now it says rook e1. And why rook e1? Still rook e1. We play rook e1. And now it is h6. I think I don't understand it. Why doesn't he take the pawn? What's the problem with taking the pawn? I take the pawn. And it's immediately full point going into white's direction. So, bishop e5. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, understood. Yes, well done. Okay. So, that was interesting to find out. And here we took, and now we go with the bishop as said. And now we have a check here. And I'd say I'll just take the knight. And it is incorrect. Taking with the queen is better. And of course it is to keep the pawn chain alive. Okay. Okay, and now I have a bishop hanging if I take the knight right away. So I do an in-between move, and that is protecting the bishop. And now the pawn went away, so the knight went away, and we have to find something. So hello YouTube chat, and if you have an idea, just write it into the chat or just follow along. Thank you for being here anyway. So I think queen to g3, attacking it, going for a checkmate, and for the fork on c7. Let's see. It's incorrect. Taking first. Okay, next. And now we have this. Okay. It's either checkmate here or checkmate there, and he cannot defend both. Okay, that's why my idea didn't work. We are here now in game number 10, and what should be the next phase in converting this endgame? This is something that always takes me a long time to find out. It is pawn endgame, and here I would just start with this one. And it's incorrect, so it's only this one. Okay, next. Now this one. Incorrect. That one. Keeping it closed. But why did I start here if I need to do this anyway? Okay. Now here. Alternative. So I go here, here, and here. Okay, and now again thinking time. What was it? Incorrect. This one. Okay. And here I go this way. Alternative. So I go here. And now I can move here, there, and now here, and then walking through taking the other pawn. Okay, so these pawn endgames are giving me so much trouble, so much to calculate, and yeah, for me it's almost impossible to find, but I keep on learning. So we're going to the next variation. It is out of game 11, Gukesh with the white pieces. Might seem like a logical follow-up, but this is a slight inaccuracy. In a strategical sense, a mistake even. How would you react? Game 11. I think I did this 3 days ago, and yeah, now I'm looking at it like I'm here the first time again and have to find it out again. So what is the good move for black here? Queen move? A5 is probably too early. I still should keep on developing. So, maybe also bishop g4, pinning the knight to the queen. Let's see. Incorrect. It is this one developing, of course. The most logical developing move. Always knights before bishop. That's the normal saying. So the most logical developing move, the reason I added an exclamation is to emphasize the point. And c6 is great. Now, since white no longer has the option of playing b4, b5. b4. b5 cannot be played anymore, so I just can play this one. That is why it is important to keep the pawn in b4 and not give in to the temptation of capture. Okay. Okay. And now Hmm. Again, I don't really know. That was correct, okay. And now just take. All right. Nice. Let me just check this again. Okay. Boom, boom. Here. Take, take, take. Okay, super nice. All right. So, perhaps the most interesting point in the opening on game 11, Gukesh now has many valid ideas to pick from. He hastily played d3, but there was a better and more fun way to play here. Can you spot it? Let's see. So, d3 was played, but there is a better move. And this is just something that I remember, but I hadn't found it and I wouldn't find it again. So I think it was c5. That is correct. It will be explained, hopefully, in a way, sooner or later. And now, is it making way for the bishop? And is it b5 or c4? Also making way for the short castle, of course. Oh, sorry. So I think it is. Hold on. I go c5, b5, c4, c4. Incorrect. And it was c5, b5. Okay. 50-50 and didn't work, so this is more threatening. This move is critical not only to speed up development, but also to handle the pressure at a7, a5. a7, a5. And why does that handle the pressure? You could now just go a7, a6, forcing me away. But, yeah, okay. So playing this one now. Okay. I think short castling now. It's an alternative. Alternative in chessable means it's a super good move. It's approved by the engine, but chessable works like it that you have to give one move that is correct so the program can continue here. Okay, so what else? I probably stop the pawn on d4, and that's why I played the pawn move here now. Yes. And now we have a problem here, which can be solved by putting the bishop here. Because if he now takes, I'll take, and my bishop is still protected. Yes. That is all right. So we go to the next variation. And again, chat, if you are having a solution here for game 11, Gukesh with the white pieces, let me know in the chat. Tempting but wrong. White is now required to play energetic and aggressive chess to prove this wrong. You move. White to play. We attack the pawn on b7. Now we are having two knights that are protecting each other. If we can chase one away, we get the other one. I, of course, talk of the d3 knight. So I think playing f4 right away should be nice. It was okay. So now we have two options. One option is taking the knight on c1. And the other option, for Ding here is to take the queen, the knight on e5. And we are going to do this. It's incorrect. Oh, look at that. A brilliant intermezzo, interestingly one that also played a major role in the game. Okay. So the queen has to go away, and seemingly the only ways to go is taking the pawn or going to d6. If they go to d6, then I take the knight. So we see what happens. Okay, this was even played. Attacking the pawn. Still, also for a forced check, or discovery check. Sorry. If the pawn goes to d3. So what now? I think now it's time to take a knight here, and we are still going for the knight here. That is correct. So, this is the key capture. The remainder of the puzzle is your next exercise. We'll get it. I don't know if directly after it or later, but we'll see. Okay, so we are going to the next variation. It's continuing right here. It's the review session from game 11 here until now. And what do we have? Now comes the lovely finish. And the lovely finish is... I think e6. Yes, I go for e6. Incorrect. It was the queen. Ah, the queen moved two things. Yes, I understand. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay, with 15 g6, Ding falls for the temptation, but the h5, bh6 plan. However, he had a better and more natural way to play. What's your take? g6. Let's see what this does. Incorrect. So it was this. Developing. Always develop, Jan. That is one of my major problems here, of course. Yes. This has been played, and yeah, now I just go for it. And now I can just castle. That's correct. And now... Will we attack the queen? I think attacking the queen is a super idea, and we just do the bishop move again. It's an alternative, which again means the engine says it's super nice, but chessable has another super nice move, also approved by the engine, where chessable says this is the one move that we need to go ahead. Okay, so the next way to threaten the queen would be knight g6. I'll go for it. Incorrect. And now the threat of knight g6 followed by f4 is very challenging to dodge. Understood. Okay. Next. Next variation. We are back to game 7. We still have 24 review sessions to do here. Review positions to do. But we will find it out, of course. Knight takes d5 would have been too greedy. Can you demonstrate how white obtains an edge now? White in this game is Gukesh. And how did he get the edge? So... well, I think I just take the pawn and then have a double attack on the knight, and then also the bishop threatens to take b7 and the rook. So probably the best way to go. And yes, that is correct. Now that is blocked. I'll just try to unblock it. Incorrect. Oh, this is the 4th or 5th time, guys, that I didn't find the move because I was only looking here. Sometimes I'm chessboard blind. Yeah, just going for the wrong stuff. I would have noticed if I would have taken the whole board into consideration. Yes, the good thing here is now he has to move the rook. I'll exchange the rooks and the knight is not defended anymore. Alrighty. So, black's last move was definitely an unfortunate call, allowing white to carry out his dangerous plan. How would you proceed? It is about attacking the bishop here. But the bishop has a retreat square here on f5, so we'll keep it closed. We'll keep it closed. And now we can attack it. And now we need to attack the knight. We do that with the bishop. We'll take... oh no, we don't take. Second move is the knight, double attacking it, of course, yes. And then taking the bishop. Okay, game 12 would have brought about some wild complications. White now needs to play very energetically. What would you do? Game 12. I don't see it right away. I'll take the knight. Incorrect. It is here. White's army is perfectly developed, which is a great cue for us to initiate a fight. Okay. Here then we'll do this one. We cannot take the knight. So what else to do? Remove the defender. We're trying to remove the defender, maybe. Incorrect. We continue the pawn march. This idea needed to be seen before d4. White has to give up some material in order to fully exploit the initiative. Okay. This got taken here, and now it cannot escape anymore. So what are we going to do? I don't remember this anymore, so just try this time. No, incorrect. We took. But now I would just take the knight. Alternative. So which one to take with? This one, incorrect. So then it's this one. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, so just next. Okay, knight f. d4 is also good. I got an alternative. Okay. So a valid alternative, but here too white gains the upper hand. How? We have so many attackers. I forgot this. Only thinking here. Yes. Here I would like to remove the knight, so I have some attacking power on b7, of course, and also be able to choose the defending rook away with the knight on a7. So what to move? I'm taking here. That's correct. And now I first take with the queen. And now I have the idea here and there. Okay. White to play. 20 more moves to go before we go to game number 13, guys. We'll make it. Sometimes even the best grandmasters meet basic things. What should have Ding played here? The rook is trapped. Got it. Next variation. Although many moves are winning here, Ding found the cleanest one. What was it? Out of game 12, which Gukesh won. Yeah, and I still have to write Andras that he made a mistake in the naming. It is not Gukesh over this thing, but Ling versus Gukesh as white won. Okay, so check. He has to take, then I can bring in the queen. I believe that is good. Check. 10 points. And it's all over, as after bishop takes f8, white will get a new queen. Correct. Okay. So, next variation allows us to demonstrate an idea associated with NIM. So which time to demonstrate that you do know the classics? Take, back, and here stopping the pawn, and with the pawn the bishop to be active. Okay, so an analogous endgame scenario has occurred, and here I still remember the idea, and we had that earlier on when we had the endgame party, pawn endgame party. Yes, take, and now I have to try to reach this one first. Well done. So that was quite all right. So we continue. This is a very logical move here, although d takes c4 and d takes e4 are reasonably close in terms of value. Which one would you prefer and why? I would prefer c4 because now I can just put this c6 to c5, opening up my bishop and attacking the pawn there. And if he goes with the pawn, I can still go to d5 with the knight attacking the bishop and would be slightly better here. Okay. So here the Chinese world champ missed a good chance to play for a win. Can you see how? It's Gukesh with this ding. It's black to play. How did black do this? Yes, I knew how, but only... Sorry, but only after I did this. This is a review session, and this is knight a4. And now we have the... Yes, now we can get rid of that pawn here and getting the open file. This is correct. Now we can attack this here, and now we take. And this is out of the way now. And we go here for making trouble. And black has a monstrous initiative. And hello Twitch. So let's take a quick look here. And that is... Ah, Towercam, you're there. That's nice. Hello. Hope you're doing all right. And we're just continuing with review sessions. We have 14 review sessions more to go until we are ready. Some I remember and some I don't. So could need your help as always here. So this is game number 4. Poses an interesting problem to which black has a very nice solution. How would you play? I remember this one. Hi, Towercam. So, hope you had a good day, and I don't know how you felt about the World Chess Championship, but in my opening monologue, I say I was so sad for Ding losing, especially with that heartbreaking blunder, but it's always also perfectly okay. I mean, Gukesh played well, nothing to say about it. He refused every draw offer, I think. He was trying to find solutions to win instead of drawing, and alone that is, of course, yeah, very well done. And then I heard a little bit about the story about Gukesh. I never knew that he started at age of 7, which is kind of old for these kind of super grandmasters, I think. And he was, well, what's the word for it? He was found, yeah, by his school teacher, basically. He was attending a chess course in his school at age of 7. And yeah, yeah, same here. So I didn't know this, that he was discovered in school. And also, I didn't know that his parents didn't have money, and basically all the friends jumped in, basically sponsoring him to be able to play chess. And what I also didn't know about Gukesh is that it should be regular for him to play or study chess between 12 and 16 hours per day. And I just can't imagine to put in that much of chess. Like, even if I have free time all day, nothing else to do, 12 to 16 hours, it's crazy. He's 18. And the question is, of course, what did he had so far from life except for playing chess? I mean, some people probably say chess is life, but yeah, we'll see how he will develop. I'm rooting for Gukesh, of course, and there are so many other players where I'd say I would love to see them in such a match. Okay, continue. So it's black to play, and it is this one first, attacking the pawn. And now the idea is to get the queen here, and now the idea is to put the bishop, our bishop, on d3, forking rook and queen. And this one needs to go out of the way, and we can just keep on attacking. And yeah, he could have taken, but we could have retaken, and now the way is free for the bishop, and we have one more variation solved. Okay, so we continue again, and we have black challenges us with the same idea. What is the best way to meet it? This one I remember. And here the problem is that after he lured our queen to c4, he could have the bishop with the rook, with the fork on the rook and the queen. So we need to make sure that this is not happening. We first take here, then we take with the queen. Now we have this defender who needs to go out of the way, but we can counterattack. We did it that way. And now we are able, without the rook on the c file, we are able to hit here, and if he retakes, we retake with the queen, and all is good. No fork inside. Okay, 12 more. We can do it. In this position, white has a stunning idea to claim advantage. Can you spot it? Yes, because I remembered this by heart, and it got into pattern recognition and everything. So it is going here. Now is a fun move waiting for us, and that is the rook to g5. Check. He cannot take with the king. He cannot take with the pawn, pinned by the rook. So he has to take our pawn on h4. And when he does that, we are first taking the rook and now taking a pawn. We are only one pawn ahead, but this is so awkwardly structured. The king is in such a strange position that we should be good again. Okay, next variation. I also know this one because I did it often. And yeah, let's go. This is about first threatening his rook. He takes our rook, unhappy of course, but here we have a super nice in-between move now. This bishop is in danger. If we take the rook, he will take our bishop and is up in the material. So we need to get the bishop out of the way, and that is done via this check here. And now we save without losing a piece, can just take the rook here. Okay, that was good. Then next one, review session number 10, this time from game number 4. An interesting point in the game where we need to make a big call on what to take back with. What is your preferred way? I know TowerCam got it right, I got it right, and the people in chat will also get it right. So Will you take with the rook on h8? Will you take with the king, or will you take with the knight on d7? Think a little bit, and the answer is 3, 2, 1. Take with the knight. And the reason behind it is that you don't take away the castling rights. It's just a short temporary imbalance, and you can just move back and you're good again. Right? So, 9 more to go. A very natural move, which might have been the very move that disallowed Ding to win the game. Moving the knight is the right idea, but d4 is not the right square. Where should the world champion have gone instead? So we have a knight on d4 now. Is that correct? Nope. The question is, of course, should we go with our knight, yeah, on d4 attacking the bishop here? Okay. So moving the knight. So we're moving the knight out of the way, and that is d2. Incorrect. It was e1. An aggressive retreating move, one of the greatest paradoxes in chess. The idea is that here the knight does not interfere with our main threat, the pushing of the d-pawn. But that would have also... here I get it. The rook is still protected by the bishop. That's the reason here, okay. So we just go here, goes there, and now we start the fun part. The rook is still protected by the queen, so we need to dissolve that, and we do this by giving here the bishop attack, and now we are finally able to address the knight. He has to move the knight away. If he does that, we can take the rook, or he can just be taken by the pawn. Okay, what should we do now? Knight e1. Yes, you remember tower come correct. Yes. White to play. What do we have here? Game number 3. Do I remember this situation? What should we do now and why? I think this is about getting the bishop. And we are doing this by, take a look at the chat. We're doing this with the knight to d2. And now we are able to take it right away. Correct. And now we can attack it again by just going e3. It's all threatening. And now, this is so nice if you know the sequence, and I didn't find it during the first presentation, but now I know, of course, what to look for, but not trivial. So here I just take with the knight, and now we have a rook, a trap rooked. A trap rooked. We have a rook trapped. Funny. Yeah, so he can only bring out the knight, but would also lose the knight. So I know that Andras Toth, he said, this is so obvious, but it was not obvious to me at all. Okay. So we're in review number 7 now. White insists on maintaining the material surplus, but this backfires badly. What would you play here? Black to play. I remember this one, and it is about finding a super nice checkmate position. And that is done by, we don't care about that the knight just took our queen. We are just interested in our attack, and that is this move here. Now we say we don't care about the bishop. Well, basically we do, but we give a check in between. That is this one here. And now we have a super nice mate thing here. The G1 file, G1 square is taken by the knight. We can just give a check now. He has to move out of the way, and we have a checkmate. Very nice. Braden, rook h3 is dirty. Yes, it was, and you are totally correct. It was dirty, and it's such a nice mate pattern here. I like it a lot. The pawn helps on h2, and very well done. And it was just a what's it called in English? A party of, if you give up material to get your attack going. It's an Opfer in German, and the Opfer in German is the, what's it called again? You're not surrendering a piece? Opfern. What is Opfern again? Oh, well, doesn't matter right now, but I still should know this. So we're going to the next situation, and I will tell you once it comes up to my mind. So, Braden, as you sacrifice. There you go, tower comes. Super nice. Yes, that's correct. We sacrificed the pieces in order to get our attack going. So, Ding is in a sticky situation as the c2 bishop is in a mortal danger. Where is the c2 bishop? It's this one. So, the Chinese world champion had to find here a very clever idea to stay in the game. What would you play? It's out of game 3. And I just noticed, guys, I mean, it's over now. And I'm also sad, not because only Ding lost. I'm also happy that Gukesh won. But I'm always sad of the end of an event that I liked. So I know as a kid, the Soccer World Championships took 3 weeks. And when they were over, there was this feeling of emptiness because nothing was happening. And now it seems that I have the same feeling with the chess championship, but there is so much chess going on. Now the chess blitz and rapid world championships are coming up in New York. And yeah, that is just, yeah, happy that we have so much chess. And can play chess, of course, always by ourselves and study. So, okay, now we go here. So I remember that it was the rook move to g6. And now we had the attack on the bishop. Yep, and no matter what white does, black manages to escape unscathed. A super cool engine like evacuation. I probably wouldn't have found it. Okay, but I saw that live on stream. So might look like an annoying move. How would you play now with black? Okay, so here that was also tricky. I had no chance to find it, but I think I remember the full sequence. It is here, forcing it, here, making the f4 pawn vulnerable. I go and we're good. Black's piece activity is plenty enough to compensate for the material deficit. Need to remember this for one of my own games later on. So here, can you see why this logical looking capture is a losing blunder? What had been played? It's black to play. Played had been pawn d4 to c5. Okay. And why was it a game-losing blunder? Because this one was really easy. Everyone in chat should just shout Jan, play queen to e2. It's forking. Yes, it is. Fork to the rook, fork to the knight. And we're good. Only 3 more reviews before we go to game 13. Would have kept the pawn, but this move allows black a serious initiative. How would you have played? I remember this one. And it is, I take a quick look at the chat as always. And we will just do the following here. We play the bishop to a6, not allowing the castling of white. And now we can dodge the c4 pawn, disconnecting it from our pawn. So we go here. And now white has no chance once we played the queen move, because there's this checkmate waiting on e2. Nice. Okay. 2 more. White now has 2 pawns hanging, a5 directly and e4 indirectly. This line must have been Ding's preparation. Can you find a way to fight for an edge with white? White to play out of game number 2. 14 days ago. Crazy. Okay, so what is this? I think it is attacking the bishop on d5. Correct. He decides to take. And now, what are we doing? Again, if I'm taking a look here, it's because there are my chat windows, and I'd like to see if there's something in chat here. So what was it now? My intuition would say it's knight h4. Let's see if that works. Yes, it did. So, and now I think it is queen to g4, attacking the pawn on g7 and the knight on e4. Let's see. Correct. And now we just take. Also correct. And white has an overwhelming advantage, which can easily turn into a direct mate attack, as we shall see in the next position. Yes, I remember how we did that, but we already did it. So that was at the start of the review session here. Okay, so now in extreme time trouble, Ding opts to grab some extra material, allowing a pretty finish. Can you spot it? White to play. Game number 3. White to play. What happened? Usually I would go with the check, but the bishop defends it. So it is attacking the rook. Yeah, the other rook. Yikes, I didn't find that one and forgot it. Okay, next. So we got it here. Now we're taking the rook here. And now we have the super move, I think. Very good. Just to attack here. And he has to take. We retake first the rook on e7. d7, sorry. Yes, otherwise it wouldn't work with taking the rook, because then he would just run away. Okay, so finally, after 1 hour and 11, we are going to the thing that we all like to have. It is now game number 13. Now it really starts. Okay, before that, I'm going to open up some sweets. Hold on. Now we shouldn't speak with something with eating while eating, but I hope you guys bear with me. Okay, so what do we have? It's now game number 13. It is Gukesh with white, and b4 would allow white to demonstrate their idea, a vicious kingside attack. How would you go about it? White to play. Tower come, of course, you are now being asked for, like, please help. Who else is in chat here in Twitch? Let me just take a quick look. Oh, all right. So, if you know something, please write it into chat and we do this together. Mm-hmm. Okay, the knight is attacked and we have to move it away. A4 or E4? What do you think? Mm-hmm. To take could be another option. I would probably take. Tower come would go knight A4. Please explain why. I would also, that was my first idea, because then I could go C5. but I would like to have my pawns in the center left, and that would have been gone because the bishop could take. And then we have 3 isolated pawns more or less, which is not too nice. Get the knight out. Yes, we need to get it out, but we could also take or put it to e4. So a4, I think, would bring it into a losing position. Where could we go later on once it's attacked? Like next move could be queen a5. And then it is of course defended by our queen, but that could be refuted by just well, not refuted, but he could bring also the bishop into action on d7, for example. If you take, you allow the bishop to b4. Yes, the question is, does it hurt? So maybe it is okay to play knight e4. And then we would have an outpost on d6. So we identified 3 candidate moves. We haven't thought of the next last move, that is knight to e2. So we have 4 candidate moves. Chat, we are 4 people in chat here. What do you think? It is the knight being attacked on c3. We have a4. We have e4. We have e2. And we have taking with the pawn. I'm not a fan of a4 because it could be attacked right away with the queen, for example, and if he gets the bishop in too, our knight is lost anyway. So that is one reason. And if we take the pawn, we have the bishop on b4, also attacking the knight. Maybe even taking with the queen is strong, with the rook is stronger. Or even worse could be the knight takes and then going to the outpost on d3. So as Tawakam said, I'm not a fan of taking too, so only 2 moves come into mind, and that is c4 or e4 or e2. And I personally would go for e4. Again, for the outpost spot, and in general, moving forward is better than backwards. So, I'm super curious now. And chat is not writing their moves, so I'm going to put it to e4. And we'll find out. Incorrect. Oh, a queen move. Threatening the checkmate, immediately forcing a weakening response. Okay, the only way to go is now, or wonderful. The thing is, if he plays g6 now, our knight is attacked, and our knight attacked on c3. So we lose a knight for sure. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see how this goes. Okay, we play that queen move. What did he do? Yes, forced. And now what to do? So he cannot take because it is pinned. So we now need to have the, oh, lovely. Now it is knight e2, e4, sorry. So we have the double spot on f6. I'm pretty sure about that. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm all day wrong. Just played the Bundesliga with the dojo team, and it was the worst tournament that I ever had. So maybe this is wrong too, but I have the feeling it's good. Yes. I'm 1 hour on chessable now, so I'm continuing. And mate can only be delayed. 20 queen f4 is also good. Okay. Knight. What is the sample line here? It is b takes a3, knight f6, bishop takes here, and now it's just a matter of getting the queen into the action, and we have sooner or later a nice mate with the queen on h6 and maybe taking on h7. So that is really cool. Okay, we got the first one done, I think. Lovely. We have 4 more to go. It is black to play. Black to play. Our knight is hanging on c6. My first idea would always be something like in a blitz game, I would probably take the pawn, but then the rook comes in on d1, pinning my piece, and yeah, X-ray attack on my queen on d8. Tawakam says bishop b7 question mark. Yeah, that would defend our knight and having an X-ray attack on the queen. The question is, do we like to transfer the or reroute the knight to e7 and f5? That would give more defenders to our king and also a super active place. That's what I would prefer, probably. If the king go, yeah, no. 97, I think. What do you guys think of 97? Is it too passive? I cannot really decide. What do you do after knight e4 afterwards? e4, you mean f5? Ah, you mean the white knight. Okay, the white knight to e4. Okay, I play knight e7. And Tawakam, what I thought of during the day, I thought of you, that you are here with me, and I thought this is basically what the sparring sessions with the other dojo members are all about. Yeah, just finding stuff like this is a master game that we have, and we're going through the options together and making same self decisions and so on. So basically, this is dojo time. Okay, I play knight e7, he plays knight e4. Attacking our bishop, so... I think I wouldn't care too much, because everything looks like kind of okay defended. Hmm. This is a situation where I, again, don't really know what to do and how to do it here. I am unsure, as you notice. So, what we haven't thought about is also just playing. Well, we thought about it, but the knight is hanging. I thought pawn to e5 right away. But then the knight would be gone. Did we think about knight a5 b3? But there it would be, yeah, just one time attack on the rook, so it's more pseudo attack. Yeah, like doing nothing. It's 3 against 2. We have the majority of the pawns on the queen side here. That's correct. Can we use that somehow? Hmm. I'm for sure not coming to the correct conclusion here. Tower come, I go with the bishop move. I think it's the most threatening way. Yep. Wow. This was a very interesting and aggressive alternative. Black is losing material, but not without compensation. 17 Queen e8 was played. Okay. Next, okay, we took this one. And he played that. Hmm. Taking with the rook. No. It's probably a knight move now. I calculated f3 check. If he takes with the pawn, we could take his queen and take the pawn, but that doesn't help a lot. Again, same thing here. A tower come, I'm really not good in evaluating positional advantages against plain material. I'm so bad at this. I know there's a rule for it. The rule is, I mean, in a normal position, tactical, you have to first take a look at the checks, then the take checks, then the takes, and then the threats. That is the way to go for tactical positions. For the positional dry situations, you have also three things to consider. And the first one is look at your opponent's plan. Can you refute it? Then, what is your worst piece? Can you put it into a better position? And the third one is can you exchange something with an advantage? These are the three basic rules for these positional things. So, here I believe it's something tactical. And here we have an issue. The issue is we are losing our queen if we take the knight to a different position except the check. So only two moves, I think, that are good here. That is knight to f3 or knight to c6, protecting the queen. Or we say we don't care about the queen because we have something better. Well, if we go the with the check on f3, then we are losing the bishop against a pawn, but his pawn structure is super ugly. And maybe that is good, enough compensation for losing the knight here. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm doing that. Anything else? Last question here into chat? Nope. So we're just playing this. It's incorrect. Oh, again, didn't take a single second looking at that one. Of course, it's super nice. Yes, of course. This happens so often that I'm distracted and not taking a look at everything. Okay, so next. Yes. Now the rook is attacked and the queen behind it. So how to do this now? I'm so happy that I don't have to play in World Championship matches. I would be so super bad. Okay, so let's find out what to do here. We have a super pin. Can we threaten it somehow? So as the rook is lost eventually, I thought also about putting the queen somewhere. What is your reason for the queen move to f8? So we're losing the rook. Is there anything else to do? A forcing move with the rook, so it doesn't matter that we lose the queen. I don't see anything. So now it is about what is our next move without caring about the rook. Afterwards, bishop b2 putting a lot of pressure on f3. We do it. Let's go. Tell me why, tell me a little why. No clue why. Like, really surprising. So why the bishop move? Bishop f5, where is it? Here. We had this one, bishop f5. Bishop takes, and black has a pawn and a huge piece activity for the sacrificed exchanged. Black has a pawn and a huge piece activity for the sacrificed exchange. Where did we win the pawn? You mean here or what? Yes. This is way above my understanding, I have to tell you, Tower Come. This, of course, now seeing the position, it looks kind of okay, but, I mean, we are just down a rook. Pieces 3, 6 versus 5. Let's see what the engine says. I'm just curious. Hold on. Better for black. Oh, difficult for me. Okay. Good. Then we are going to the third variation. What is wrong with this capture? The rook took on f4. White to play. Do we see a tactic? I see the tactic. Do you too? Take your time. I wait a little. I eat lots of sweets here, but I take the time and wait for you. Yes, we can fork the rooks, exactly. This is so funny in the course. So many super tough questions, and then these easy ones. The move 31, knight e4, might be the most costly one for Gukesh. There was a way better way to play the same idea. How? 31, 31st, knight e4. Here, okay. So, knight e4. Trying to fork on d6, I think. Okay. Just thinking ideas here. So, rook e1 takes e8, check. He has to take with the queen. What happens if I play queen c6? It double attacks the rook on e8. He probably could go knight rook f8. If he would go rook d8, we just follow with the rook to d1. But this doesn't make sense so now. Okay. He would also have rook e7. Yes, true. But then I could take the pawn, the bishop on e8. c8, sorry, c8. Tower come, I have to admit, I don't know. Let's go for it. Which one? This one here, right? Incorrect. The counterintuitive trade first was a lot better. Now the remaining black pieces are very poorly coordinated. Okay. Now we first go here, now there, and now the move here. Okay, let's think of it now. I have to admit I don't get it because it's my move now and I would just play Ah, indeed, it's not that easy. Here I would play as black rook queen f8. Because if I would play rook to d7, he could still fork me on d5, d6, but the bishop and the queen. Then he cannot defend the bishop properly. So I need a queen move. And difficult, super difficult. I'm going to check the engine here. Hold on. Okay, it's plus 1.4, 1.3, 1.2 for white. Queen d7. Okay, but getting away from here. Queen d7. Knight d6. Rook b8. Okay, this is 1.3. Let's check now. I need to do the check what happens if he had played this one before. Okay, now engine, and we are 1.3, 1.4. So same as before, and here it goes down immediately to equal. Really? Rook f8? Rook f8. Whoops. And now, why can't he play the fork? Because he could still play queen to c7, I think. Let's see, we play the fork. Rook c7. Now he plays rook c7, okay. And then the queen out of the way. Yes, so it was indeed better to take the rook. Found out, and it's good. Okay, be right back. Okay. Just holding this here, and we go to the next one. And that is the final one. Wait a little until tower comes back. Okay, hello Twitch chat. Toughest moment in the game for the world champion. What is the only move that holds? We are fearing the knight fork on d6. Regardless of what we are playing, there will be a fork. So what to play? I think it's rook c7. I'm just waiting if tower comes already back. But I think the only move here is c7. So with c7, if he forks, we take his queen, he takes our queen, we take his pawn, his knight. So we're good. I think that is correct. So tower come if you're still there. And sorry for eating. It's just needed probably hear it all the time, and I'm very sorry. But yeah, I just move here and we'll see how that goes. So incorrect. Rook f8. He forks now, and when he forks, we play the queen move to c7. Okay, forks, and now the queen. Also incorrect. Oh. And that is, of course, so obvious. It was so obvious because if I take the queen, but wait, if we okay, let's go next and we see with the engine. So my idea here was to play the rook to c7. If he takes my rook, I take his queen, and we just okay, take, all good. If he takes my queen, I take his queen. And she can jump away. So also no harm done. Somehow I don't see why. Probably the engine needs to help. Hi, Tower Come. Tower Come, it's really super tough here. And it's tactical move orders, and I'm bad at this, especially at this time of the night. So we just do the correct move that had been played, and I already forgot it. It was the queen too. No, it was not. It was the rook. Again, my fault. Okay, the rook, and we take a look at this with the engine here. Okay, now we still have our queen under attack. And I think now it is queen d7. Queen d7, I think. Or what also would be possible is just going for the exchange with queen f6. I would go with the initial idea to play queen d7. Queen d7 I try. Is that correct? I still like to double check here. So probably yes. Incorrect. Tower Come, I don't know how you see it. Often we had like 50-50. We had two candidate moves, and every time I seem to choose the wrong one. Okay. Let's read through it. Okay, probably the toughest moment in the game for the world champions. What is the only move that holds? It is rook f8. Fantastic resource. Followed by knight d6, rook c7. This lovely counterattack saves the day. Queen e5. Gukesh tried but could not find any advantage after this. So Gukesh played knight f7. Rook took c5. Might even be slightly better for black. Queen f6. Okay. So here I really like to use the engine, because it was so tough to find. Let's see. So the move that I came up with was rook c7. Yes. It's 0.2 for white. Now it is plus 2-8. What happens? Knight f6. Yes, that's what I saw. And now I was able to... what I didn't see is, if I take with the rook on e8, the queen has to defend, otherwise it's checkmate, and so he gets both pieces. Yeah, so that's not the best idea. And so we go back. What we did here was this one. Then the fork came. And here I played queen to c7. It's now 0.46. Also losing immediately by knight takes b7. Yeah, because the queen is protected by the knight. Both very obvious. So if we take the rook here, it is equal. Queen e5, he doesn't even take. Of course not, so he retreats. Let's see. He retreats to e5 here. And now it's queen f6. Now I can move out of the way. Queen f6 as we had it, yes. Not so... I mean, it was not impossible to see. It is just that I believe it's late at night and I'm tired. Yeah, otherwise, with enough time on the clock, I'm pretty sure I could have calculated it through. Could have, would have, should have. Okay. So the good thing is that we are done with the positions. We just got a simple tactic right. That was here, the one with the fork. And the rest was all incorrect. Well, I guess that also happens from time to time. It's World Championship level, and I'm not a World Champion, so that is all correct, of course. So here, I just go there. We know this is the full game, and we click on all right, and then finally, an advantage of 0.6. I still have no advantage. I'm able to spot. Yeah, same with me. Absolutely. I don't know it. And during the commentary, it was said that the world champions here on the super GMs on that level, 0.2 or 0.3 is enough for them to win. Yeah, and yeah, amazing. I also heard, I don't know if that's correct, but today Ding played 50 moves without error and only one that was wrong. The blunder at the end. Yes. Okay, so we start with the normal game review and then we're good.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is round 13, and boy, oh boy, the tension is through the roof. And what a game we've had last night from when I'm recording this now. Gukesh came back behind the white pieces and he goes e4, going, all right, man, I will have a go at your French. I dare you to play it. Ding in response, French it is. Show me what you got. Just the psychological warfare added to, you know, the objective excitement of the game. It is absolutely next level. So they played again the main topic of the World Championship match, which was this early knight CE2 move, which is designed to allow white to build a fairly sizable pawn formation in the center. And then a3, this is to cut out bishop b4 check ideas and occasionally to threaten with pawn b4. Bishop e7, bishop e3, and this is where we are already on new and novel territory. Knight b6 is obviously played to jump into c4, hurting the pawn on b2, potentially trading on e3. So knight f4 played to open up the bishop's path towards c4. And after cd, cd, we have got this very unique structure with knight c4 takes and pawn takes. Technically, this looks like a brilliant trade from black's perspective because they managed to get white's better bishop. The pawn structure has changed so that now this bishop has a long-term prospect on the long diagonal. So the static features favor black. The dynamic ones, however, not so much, because here now white enjoys some lead-in development, space advantage, a potential d5 break, and also queen g4, not played in the game, by the way, seemed to have put a fair bit of pressure on black. According to the engine here, queen a5 is forced, bishop d2, queen b6 forced, and here both knight ge2 or even queen takes g7, rook f8, and then knight e2 would have led to absolutely insane complications. Knight d4, queen d4 seems forced, and then maybe bishop e3, followed by kingside castles, according to the engine, is preferable to white. I don't know which of these lines or ideas were unclear to Gukesh, but the Indian challenger instead settled for developing the knight to e2. Now, the reason why the knight goes to e2, because from here it can go to c3 and then to e4, which is a very important springboard for the knight in these structures. Also from c3, it supports a d5 break. b5, castles, castles, and knight c3. The game is developing in a very logical manner. And once again, Gukesh really is under the pump in the sense that he needs to build up some kind of pressure slash tension as soon as possible, because the longer it goes, the more black's trump cards will come to the fore. Rook b8 and knight h5. This is it. Just right away, we are going after the black king. And indeed, the danger is real. I just tried for funsies to throw in b4 here in my analysis, and it's instant loss. Like, that's it. You can fold it. It's game over. Queen g4, mate threat on g7 can only be parried by g6, knight e4, and there is nothing stopping the cavalry from penetrating on f6. And it's literally mate. Like, I just went like, okay, let's see how it goes. Check, 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 king g7, queen g5, and that's it. Your engine tells you mate in 4. That's how quickly it can go. It's absolutely mind-boggling. It's mate on h6. Just nothing you can do about it. So this knight h5 sortie for sure was to be respected, and I think that Ding responded it in the most logical fashion by playing f5, king h8, queen g4, rook g8 is also playable, but it's icky. Like, you don't want to play chess like this. It doesn't feel right. Now both rook a and fd1, I naturally would go a d1. It feels like white has all the fun in the position. d5 ideas are in, knight d4 ideas are in. Yeah, this doesn't look like what you would want to do when you have f5. Now, granted, this comes at a slight concession of now the pawn being isolated, and also black's better bishop getting traded off. White definitely enjoys a bit of an advantage here, but how big that advantage is, it's hard to tell. Probably insufficient for an advantage. In fact, Gukesh threw in queen f3 first. And this was an absolutely mind-boggling moment in the sense that black here had a very, very, very good move that requires, yeah, I don't know how to put it mildly, but yeah, you need to be very brave to play knight takes d4 here. Now, seemingly this move is a blunder. However, after knight f6, rook f6 forced, note that queen f6 loses to queen takes, rook takes, bishop d4. So rook f6 forced. It looks like the super cheeky queen d1 wins material because d4 is on, right? And bishop g5 is pending. So there are two threats at the same time. But check this out. Black has e5, bishop g5, bishop f5, and if I take after queen takes, black is already way ahead here. It's incredibly beautiful to see here how white's initiative got traded for material. And yes, technically white is up in exchange for a pawn, but everybody is at home. I have no targets. Black bishop is penetrating on d3. The knight on d4 is a monster. There is an f5 for black to work with. I would take here black any day of the week, hands down. And so I don't know how much of this was seen by Ding, but he opted out of this, and he played here the, in comparison, timid queen e8, which most certainly allowed Gukesh to at least build up a little bit of play here. f3, rook back. And in fact, hereabouts, I think the Indian challenger made a mistake. Bishop f4 was a marvelous tactic. Rook takes f4, queen e5. Hello. These rooks are not having a lot of fun. And yeah, rook b6. And I think this was a key moment here because Gukesh went in for this trade too soon. Instead, rook fe1, just gently putting the ball back on your opponent's court, would have created a moment of, I wouldn't want to call it chaos, but disorganization, where bishop takes e7 kind of helps, right? Like it sort of helps black to fix pieces, and trades, generally speaking, help the defender. rook e1 would be a move where we are like, okay, so which piece can you improve now without, compromising harmony amongst your ranks? Because knight f5 appears to be most logical, but then both bishop c5 or bishop b4 would put some pressure here, threaten d5, maybe knight d5 even on rainy days. It looks like black is lacking coordination, especially amongst the three heavy pieces. Look at the harmony down here in strong contrast. And it's really easy, no, it's really difficult for black to somehow restore that missing coordination. I feel like I would like to play 3 moves with black back to back, a6, rook b8, bishop b7, to feel that I'm somewhat in control, at least somewhat with black. But that's not accessible. So I think that bishop takes e7 was a strategic mistake in that it allowed black easier coordination. Queen e5, a6, d5. This break had to happen, and we are approaching the most climatic moment in the game. Queen c5, rook e8, and here Gukesh played the very daring rook e1. Shout out for the challenger to keep on pressing and challenging Ding to difficult decisions. And indeed here queen e1 was forced, and after rook takes king f2. Yeah, this is wild. This is really, really, really wild. I'm trying to think here of a line that I was watching last night on the Chess Base India, I think. No. On one of the commentaries, they had an interesting discussion about a endgame where the queen came off. Had to be rook e8, knight here. Rook e7. Yeah, that's something to do for this effect. But if you imagine this position with without queens and rooks, it's actually better for white, that endgame. Yeah, actually, it's easy. I'm being a doofus. Queen c6, rook pins, takes. That's exactly it. So this would have been an interesting endgame, most definitely holdable for black, but there are still some awkward moves to be found because this king is super quick to attack the pawns on the queen side. But this is holdable. Ding, however, went back to f7 instead, wanting to hold the fort as it was, and this was the critical moment. If Gukesh here had found rook takes e8, the counterintuitive move, because knight e4 feels like it's threatening the biggest family fork in chess history, right? And so trading into e8, relieving one of the pieces from the threatened fork, doesn't feel normal. But the point is that now black only has bad pieces. And to hold this position is an outright nightmare. Like the best move on the board here is queen d7, which is one of the most counterintuitive moves to be found ever on the board. I think it transposes actually after rook b8, knight d6, queen d7 too. But boy, trying to hold this, king h8 loses, by the way, to rook e1, king f8 only again. And now rook e1, I think bishop b7, and black holds. Like, to find these moves for black, and that was the time when Ding had very, very, very little to work with on the clock, like less than 10 minutes. So here to find precise moves like rook b8, queen d7, I don't know if Ding would have been up for the challenge. Having said that, even after knight e4, black has only one move that doesn't lose on the spot, and Ding did find it under tremendous pressure, and that was the absolutely got the rook f8 only move, inviting the fork, but having the counterpunch rook c7 ready. And yeah, white now doesn't have enough. Obviously, taking on f7 might even allow black to have a slight edge. So queen e5 was more or less forced, but yeah, this is when the steam ran out. Rook e5 was very cheeky. I loved this move because now rook d7 is so tempting to build up a pin, and all of a sudden black is in major trouble again. Queen d8, rook e1, and now the white pieces again completely squash the black army. And after h6, queen e5, super cheeky again. It feels like white is just about to crack black here with piece activity off the charts. This would be a small miracle if Black could get away with this. I don't think so. So in that sense, Rook e5 was very good, but Ding was ready for the challenge. Excuse me. Rook e7 trade is always the answer. And after, again, a set of trades, Bishop d7 would have been cleanest, but h6 is also very good. No winning chances left whatsoever. And although kudos to Gukesh for trying, in particular, Rook e7 was incredibly brave, allowing b2 to be captured with a check. This was absolutely crazy. Funnily enough, after Bishop f5, we cannot win by force here for white because Rook e5, which attacks Bishop and Rook at the same time, fails to Rook c8. It's always these little tactical nuances that save Ding, and it's so impressive to see that somehow in every line there is a small tactical nuance that comes to the rescue. So I think instead Rook c7 or b7 is best, hitting the rook, and obviously the rook can't move away from the f5 because f5 is hanging, and so king g8 is forced, again on the move. And now comes a little tactic, but it's completely worthless in the sense that this is a super easy draw. I mean, we have got level material, rook ending, not a chance, not a chance that anything can happen here. Ding went for the calm and measured Bishop f5, once again, potentially best practical choice. And yeah, the trades just never stopped. And from here on out,
I bet that Andras, after today's game, he just said, no chance, absolutely no chance, it's a draw game. So basically, after today's game, he wouldn't have said this anymore. Yes.
Okay. Now, it is on this level of chess, completely unwinnable, and Ding defended really, really well, ultimately stirring the game toward a 3-on-2 rook ending, which is a theoretical draw. Sometimes your engines would tell you that it had a spike to +1. Don't believe it. It is a total dead draw, and Ding had no difficulty whatsoever to prove it. And we went into a repetition and a draw. A huge potential for Gukesh to score a win, in particular if he had found rook e8. I think he would have converted that. Ding showed some absolutely legendary resilience and defensive skills in this game. Definitely worthy of a reigning world champion. Like, this game was really, really high quality, top stuff. I think Gukesh might feel a little bit brokenhearted about the fact that he failed to convert this. Now he has a black game to defend in game 14. And I'm not risking much by saying no matter what happens for the rest, it is going to be a heartbreak, because you can win a world championship match by a margin of 2 or more, in which case you just go like, well, fair game, the winner was clearly better. But no matter what happens, no matter how we are going to end, whether it's going to be decided in game 14 or we are going into a tiebreaker, hearts will be broken. And that's very sad to see, but it is the nature of sport, and in some ways it is the most exciting to watch, because we can see that challenger and world champion are up to the challenge, up to the task equally. And so I cannot wait to see what's going to unfold in move 14 and potentially beyond. So stay tuned. I will be back with game 14 tomorrow.
Thank you, Andras. So we are done with game number 13. It will be nice tomorrow to do game number 14. So we extended more or less for one day for us. As I said, I'm usually sad once an event is over that I really, really liked. And to me, it was really nice to follow my first World Chess Championship game or tournament. So Tarakam, again, thank you for following. And maybe we'll do also the game tomorrow together, probably a little earlier. And I will set it up soon enough, and hopefully we'll meet again. Everyone else, thank you so much for watching. And Tarakam, we are going to rate someone on Twitch. And let's see who that is, who is on, who I'm following. It is smoothly, so I'm just going to try someone else here, and that is Gilbyfish again. Let's see. Okay, so he's doing GeoGuessr, so it's not Gilbyfish. So let me just check. Yeah, here, Dilling Inter, learning the Scotch opening. Come to chat in chess. Okay, so already offline. Oh, it's so tough to find someone. Okay. Here, playing viewer, Southstar Shahrukh. One viewer. Let's go. Start rate. One viewer ready to rate in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and start the rate now. Thank you and bye-bye.